So, how can you tell when a woman is genuinely sexually attracted to you? I mean, seriously, how do you know for sure? Have you experienced this situation multiple times and developed a knack for recognizing it? Or are you just making random guesses and missing the mark entirely? Many times, as studies suggest, men often misinterpret women's signals. For instance, if a woman is merely being nice, some men might assume it's an open invitation for something physical. And let's be honest, few things are as humiliating as making a move on someone and being completely turned down. I actually have a video on handling rejection, and you might want to check it out. But getting back to the topic at hand, watching this video can save you from a whole lot of awkward situations because I'm about to share key signs that indicate when a woman is sexually attracted to you. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Jessie here, and you're tuned into my YouTube channel. On this platform, I provide relationship advice tailored for men, hoping to help you decode the enigmatic being known as a woman. Today's video is going to be absolutely insightful, so make sure to watch until the end, especially if you're one of my amazing patrons on Patreon. I've got some special shout-outs coming your way. And if you'd like to become a patron, simply head over to patreon.com/JessieOS. Join as a VIP member and I'll personally jump on a video call with you as soon as possible. Now, before I get into today's discussion, let me just emphasize this. Every tip I'm about to share requires you to be cautious. Be absolutely certain about the signals you're receiving before making any assumptions. If you're unsure, just ask. If you ever find yourself doubting a woman's intentions, simply clarify before taking any action. This way, you can avoid embarrassing misunderstandings. Keep in mind that some women naturally exude flirtatious energy, and it might not necessarily mean they're interested in anything more. So if things seem uncertain, pause and ask for clarity before making a move that might backfire. All right, with that disclaimer out of the way, let's get right into it. Now, I'm fully aware that modern relationships can be quite complicated. A lot of interactions take place in person, while just as many unfold over text, phone calls, and social media. Because of this, I'm going to mix things up a bit, offering signs that apply whether you're communicating in person or from a distance. And for those of you who find yourselves in close proximity to the woman in question, I'll be highlighting a few relevant cues as well. So pay attention. And if you're looking for something specific, feel free to skip through the video to find what applies to your situation. Sign number 1, unless there's a language barrier or an accent issue that requires extra concentration, she's going to be paying a lot of attention to your lips. If you happen to have particularly attractive lips and frequently receive compliments about them, then people might naturally look at them while you speak. But beyond that, when a woman is genuinely drawn to you, like really, really interested, it's fascinating to watch how fixated she becomes. Even if the conversation requires her to shift focus elsewhere, she'll still find herself locked onto your lips. She's observing the way your tongue moves, how your lips part when you talk, and even how you subtly lick them. It's almost as if she's mesmerized, briefly glancing at your eyes before immediately shifting back to your lips. Simply speaking to her seems to be affecting her deeply. When a woman continuously focuses on your lips instead of maintaining direct eye contact while you speak, that, from my perspective, and based on conversations with my girlfriends, is a strong indicator that she may be sexually drawn to you. However, I want to stress that you must exercise caution with this one. The last thing you want is to misinterpret her actions and end up in an awkward or even problematic situation. If you're ever in doubt, ask for clarification. Now, let me be absolutely clear. I am not suggesting that every time a woman looks at your lips, she is inviting something physical. That's a big misconception. What I am saying, however, is that if you've already crossed a certain level of familiarity, perhaps she's a colleague, a casual friend, or someone you've hung out with multiple times, and she repeatedly avoids eye contact while fixating on your lips, it might be a sign that she finds them tempting. She may even want to kiss them. Take note of that cue. All right. Moving on to sign number 2. She wants to sit next to you. Now, before we go any further, let me clarify that this doesn't apply to everyday situations where seating is limited, like on a crowded bus or at an event where she has no other choice but to sit beside you. Think, guys, think. What I'm saying goes a bit deeper than that. I'm pointing out that if you have someone in your life, a female friend who's always been warm toward you, you might notice that every chance she gets, she finds a way to sit beside you. Her shoulder brushes against yours, her hip rests against your thigh, and so on. And in a situation like this, it's likely she's sending you a signal. One thing I know for sure is that when a woman isn't into you, she won't intentionally create opportunities for such close interactions. She will avoid close contact because she doesn't want to encourage any kind of sexual tension or an interaction that makes her feel uneasy. So if you notice that she repeatedly puts herself in these situations, instead of rushing in and coming off as too forward, you might want to test the waters. Rather than making an immediate move, you could lightly place your hand on the small of her back when the moment presents itself, or touch her thigh subtly and gauge her response. If she's receptive and her body language remains positive, then you know you weren't mistaken. Number 3, she subconsciously can't stop touching you. When a woman has strong feelings for you, she tends to be very tactile. She might playfully shove you, casually run her fingers through your beard while you talk, or adjust your tie if you're standing close. They're naturally very touchy. Sometimes they don't even realize they're doing it. It just happens. But here's the thing. If she isn't interested, she won't allow those moments to happen. Once that invisible personal space barrier is broken, it's a strong indicator. It could mean 2 things. Either she's an extremely close friend who feels safe and comfortable around you, or she sees you as more than just a friend. She finds you attractive and doesn't mind if you lightly touch her lower back or test boundaries a little to see how she reacts. But generally, when women are very touchy with you, it's a positive sign. It suggests she's open to exploring something deeper. Alternatively, it could simply mean she feels at ease around you and doesn't see you as a threat, which is still a great thing, because at the end of the day, your goal is to eliminate any barriers that might prevent you from achieving what you want with her. That said, I'd also advise against immediately mirroring her touchiness. If you react too fast, it could snap her out of that unconscious state and make her more self-aware, possibly making her uncomfortable if she wasn't consciously aware of what she was doing. If you hold back and remain composed, you'll actually build even more sexual tension between you. And the next time she does it, you'll know for certain that this time it's intentional and not just something you're overanalyzing. Number 4, she smiles a lot. Smiling is obviously a sign that someone is pleased, right? If she's beaming at you even when you're not cracking jokes or trying to be funny, it's a signal. Now, I'm not saying to immediately jump on the next woman who smiles at you. That would be ridiculous. But if she always appears happy in your presence, grinning frequently, it's a solid indicator that she enjoys being around you. That enjoyment could come from simply spending time with you, going out together, or engaging in activities together. If she's consistently flashing a smile, even in moments of silence where she's just gazing at you with a smirk as if lost in thought, it's a strong hint. If you take a slight step forward, there's a good chance you'll get something more from the connection you already share. Number 5, she sends you a suggestive video or picture. Now, this is probably the clearest sign that she wants something to happen. Sending flirty, risque, or even semi-revealing photos to a guy isn't something women do lightly. It can feel risky for them. Unless she's truly interested in you in that way, she wouldn't send you such images. But the moment she becomes comfortable enough to share a photo that teases you, highlights a certain part of her body, or makes you imagine things, my guy, it's time to make a move. Either head over to her place or invite her to yours. Once a woman crosses that boundary and sends you a seductive or revealing image or video, there's no need for further explanation. You already understand what's going on. And let's be real, you're watching this video because you want to recognize these less obvious signs. All right, moving on to the next one. Number 6, over the phone, she might still find excuses to message you. Like every little thing becomes a reason to send a text. She'll react to your posts if you put something up, on IG. Just any small reason to slide into your DMs. If you catch her doing that often, it could be a sign that she's giving you the green light to take things a step further. Because honestly, if she wasn't into you, she wouldn't bother. And this isn't complicated, guys. That's why I don't even feel the need to drag this point out too much. If she's on any of these chat platforms like WhatsApp, Telegram, or Signal, and she's frequently changing her display picture, always trying to grab your attention, that's a very strong indication that she wants more than what's currently on the table. Or maybe she misses you in a deeper way, especially if you two have already been involved, or thinking about it, or you're both heavily flirting, right? Speaking of which, that leads to my final point. I mean, look, there's low-key flirting where you have to sit back and figure out what's on her mind, right? And then there's the bold, I need you now, come here kind of flirting, right? Where she's all over you, like you're out dancing and she's pressing her whole body against yours. She's spinning around and throwing it back. Oof, I can't even dance like that. But she's giving it her all, twerking like crazy. She's making it obvious. But again, I'll always say this. Before anything, always gauge the situation properly. Make sure you're reading the right signals, because the last thing you want is to misinterpret things and end up getting turned down. All right? Now, on to my shout-outs for my patrons. Big appreciation to Dominic, Patrick, Robert, Khalil, Jamin, Mackenzie, and Theodore. Oh man, Rodney too. You guys are incredible. Seriously, I've truly enjoyed every single one of our video calls and chats. It's been great connecting with you, offering my insights, and just catching up while giving you all exclusive content whenever possible. So, big respect. And yeah, the channel just reached a huge milestone recently, so I'm beyond grateful. Thanks to all of you. And of course, if anyone out there wants to connect, chat, or just talk about anything at all, I'm always down for a video call. Just find me at patreon.com/JessieOS, sign up as a VIP, and you're in.